All right. Welcome, everybody, to another Queens of Nerddom episode. I have my friends here,
Hey.
Black from the No Gimmicks podcast and also from Smoke Pit, and the very lovely and amazing Khan, one of the first ladies of DFPN.
Hey, hey.
Hello, hello. So we're gonna be talking about House of the Dragon season 2 tonight. Hopefully, gave you guys enough time to catch up on things because we're going full spoilers, breaking it down. Good, you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this.
Ready?
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us, all that is here. Uh, First off the bat, let's do some shots or sips of whatever you have. Do you guys
Oh,
want
yeah.
to? You guys want to shoot anything? Yeah, that week's been rough, man. This season was rough, man. I was like a couple times. I was like, I can't finish this. Just getting my feelings about stuff. Somebody's
Yeah.
cutting onions downstairs. Anyhow, all right. I'm gonna toast to. Yeah, it's been a long week. Glad it's over, and I'm gonna toast to my friends. Love my friends. Always appreciate them being around and being supportive. You guys are amazing. So, cheers to that.
Cheers.
Salute.
All right. Oh, you okay? So spicy.
Rookie.
Chase it.
Hey, look, I'm chasing it with more alcohol. This is actually Java moonshine.
That's okay. Oh my god, what's that? I've never had that.
It's bomb.
Oh,
This
sounds
is
delicious.
an SOS. If I don't make it out alive, you guys know what happened. Delete my browser.
Anyway.
Delete all my browser history. That's what real friends do. They delete your browser history and your Amazon book collection. I expect it.
Oh.
All right. So, oh, Eric's in the comments. Hot D. I know. You know, Kaylee coined that hot D, and I couldn't. I couldn't not keep it. I'm like, that's perfect. The hot D. No pun intended. Or maybe it is intended. I don't know. Right. So, I really like the way this second season started off. So you started off at the wall, and you see Tom and Stark, and I love seeing all the Night's Watch guards. And I don't think we saw the wall in the first season, and I like how they mentioned that the dragons refused to cross. Now I remember I was having a conversation with one of our friends, Lauren, and she kind of commented about season 2 that, there's no, like, really mention of White Walkers, which we'll get into later. Um, but it makes me think maybe it is a threat because the dragons know, and I think it's a big deal, and they didn't really, like, go into it too much, but I like that little nugget. You guys think
Mm.
so? Like, they left that little nugget in your head, like, even the dragons are like, "Oh, fuck that, I ain't going in there."
Yeah.
That
Well,
threat is
it goes into kind of the book lore because the wall was made of magic. So there
right.
had to be some kind of element keeping the dragons back and keeping the evil on that side of the wall. So I did like how they started there and just dropped,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, by the way, there is a threat beyond this wall that you don't even know about yet. I like that.
So already, like, I think we kind of, like, surmise, I don't know if it goes into it in the books, but this is, like, supposed to be, like, 8 generations before the, events of Game of Thrones occurs. So
Right.
I'm wondering if already the Night King is already there, and maybe it's not his first waltz beyond the wall with the Game of Thrones season, but, I guess time will tell, but, again, I know, Black, you did read the books. I didn't read these books when it comes to House of the Dragon, just, snippets here and there and the stuff that was in the actual Game of Thrones books, but, I don't know. It's interesting.
It
So,
is.
then the next yeah, it is. If you know nuggets, throw us nuggets because 'cause I'm all about that. I love the book lores. I think it's even better than um, shows. So, you know, I it kinda starts off on a somber note too, because then you see Rhaenyra. This throughout this whole season, I had a lot of respect for Rhaenyra because, yes, you see her at the end of season 1, and she gets told that, Viserys is dead. Viserys was killed, but she actually goes to find him herself. I have mad respect for that woman because of that, not just because, I don't know if, like, Khan, I don't know if you kind of felt that, but it's more like, does she wanna go get her son's remains? Or is it because, like, as a queen, like, I don't want to believe what I'm being told, like, I need to see it for myself. I kind of felt, like, a certain way about that. Um, and man, that was so I felt that when she finally found, like, the, remnants of, his dragon, and man, I was just like again, somebody was in the kitchen, like, cutting onions, and it was, like, burning my eyes upstairs. I was like, "Oh, I knew it was so bad."
Yeah. So what I
Um,
like about that is you see Rhaenyra throughout the first episode, but you don't hear from Rhaenyra.
mhm,
It's all emotion. Like she's trying to find his remains. She's looking. You know she's sad. You
mhm,
know that she's affected, obviously, because her son was just eaten by a dragon, and she can't find him. And
mhm,
when she finally finds him, it's not even a fact of like she's angry. She's just sad. But I do
yeah,
like that they carried that emotion throughout the whole first episode.
I think she was angry too, though. She was pissed.
yeah. She's
Because
she's definitely, you can definitely tell, like, I feel like you can definitely tell, like, she's having big feelings about it, but at the same time, I think, like, she's definitely trying to keep in mind that, having, like, a brash reaction or kinda like a knee-jerk reaction to things, like, means a lot of people are gonna die and a war is gonna start. So, I do like that. Um, then you start seeing in, like, the funeral pyre scene, when she's burning the remains, and then I like the fact that Alicent lights candles for
man,
her
fuck
son too.
Allison. Fuck Allison. I can't fucking stand her ass.
For her too.
All of this is because of fucking Allison. I
But
don't care how
no,
many
you
fucking candles that bitch lights. No.
I mean,
um,
it is. Yeah. In hindsight, it is her fault, but
Literally.
Yeah. I
She
mean,
knows. I think at that moment she knows, like she knows what's coming,
oh
and
yeah.
as much as she's trying to be honorable about it, she in that moment she knew what was coming. When Naaman came back, she knew what it was.
Yeah.
But she still wasn't
Right.
accepting it though. She was still like, even when Rhaenyra snuck out to go and freaking meet her while she's lighting these damn candles, she was still like on the fence, like, nah, no, like this is not really what it is. I think she, until the very, very end of the season, is when she actually realizes like what the fuck she did. But she was
Yeah,
still very
she's
like, she wouldn't admit
yeah.
to anything really that this is her damn fault.
No, no, not at all. And and I know that Rhaenyra ends up saying like, she wants Aemon because he's, ultimately the responsible for Luke's death. But
Right.
man, Damon, oh, I swear to God, man, this whole season, Damon is such a bastard. Like when he must have told that those rat catchers or mercenaries, whatever. Like when they killed that little boy, dude, I was just like you are the lowest of the low. I'm like, I cannot
Mm.
believe that you did that. Like that was so man, I just absolutely cannot stand his character. I was just like, oh my God, I just want to fucking punch you. Because
But in his defense, he didn't plan for it to go
oh,
down that
what's
bad.
what
He didn't plan for it to go down that bad. He wanted Aemon. They were supposed to find Aemon.
mm,
They found a boy, and then they killed a boy. It was piss poor planning,
mhm.
but I don't think he intended it to be the little boy. That plan was shit. I wouldn't have sent those guys. Like if Rhaenyra, who we know can get in the castle, then I know you,
Right.
Damon, could have gotten the castle and you could have carried this out yourself.
He could have.
He could have.
He
It's
could
piss
have.
poor planning,
That's
but
what I mean. Like, yeah, he could have. He was just, I don't know. To me, he was just being a bastard. But I don't even know, dude. But I was surprised. So there is one thing that happened there that I was just like, what's that? So you see, Helena said something about the rats in that
right,
in that
right.
first episode, and I'm like, we kept
Yeah.
saying the rats, and then after the little boy Jaehaerys was killed, I was just like, is she a seer? Like, what is that? Because I remember, because after they go through the whole like funeral procession scene, which that scene was just that was just god awful. Like I know Otto Hightower like had this whole like plan to like manipulate the population like emotionally and kind of use what happened like to their advantage. But and afterwards she was talking about the rats. I'm like, she must have known. Did you guys get that from her? Because I'm like, she has to be
Yeah,
like a seer or something.
yeah. But I do. This isn't the first time that she's done something like that either. She did this in the first season, but everybody was just like, she's weird. You know what I mean? Like she's on some weird stuff.
Yeah.
He would say things and
Mhm.
then they would happen. But this season it
Yeah.
became more prevalent when she was like the rats. I was
Mhm.
like, oh yeah, she can see. She can actually see things.
I
Yeah.
don't know if I got that in season
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Didn't
she was
watch
doing
that.
that. She was doing that all season one, and she would say things, and like
And
people would be like,
yeah.
they look at her crazy, like, what is wrong with her?
Yeah.
But she was actually telling them like,
Anti.
hey, this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
So,
And I didn't catch that the first season, but like this season I definitely caught it. It's a good eye on you, Black. That I didn't notice that, but then I started seeing it. I was like, oh shit, she is here. I was like, oh look at you, girl. I'm like predicting shit. Um,
Mhm.
I don't I don't know if you guys saw any of the memes about when Rhaenyra is wanting to know like who gave that order or whatever to kill the little boy, and you see Damon just kind of like smiling, and Rainey looks at him, and she was just like, "What?" And I was like, when I finally saw the episode, I was just like, if that's not a shit-eating grin, I don't know what is. I'm like, that is
Yeah.
absolutely what that was. Gosh. And then I was I was surprised. So you also see like Lord Larry's the creepy foot fetish weirdo if anybody
Creep.
needs a
Oh
refresher.
my god.
Um
He's a fucking weirdo.
God,
Foot fetish guy.
dude, yeah, that just
It's
makes
on a
me
whole other
nauseous. I was
level.
just like I was just like oh god. Anyways, uh, so he's kind of like he's giving me Littlefinger vibes for sure. Like he's
Most
Yep,
definitely.
okay,
for
you know what I
sure.
mean? He's definitely got like picks up that banner of like the what Littlefinger used to do, and him actually like convincing the king Aegon now that the whole reason why his father was so what do you call pliable was because of
Mhm.
Hightower being his hand. And I was just like sitting there watching, and I was like, I see you. I see what you're doing.
Yep. Yep.
Subtleties. I see it. Nice try.
Yep. He
So,
he does a
and
great
then
job of planting seeds.
he does. He does. And yeah, I don't know how else to describe it. Then he does give me like Littlefinger vibes, but I don't know, the
Yeah,
way
with
he
the
goes about just weird.
Yep.
And then what's up?
No, no, go ahead. You good.
Oh, okay. And then this is about the time that like the Sir Eric and his twin brother when they try to carry out the assassination of Rhaenyra. And I thought about this and I'm like, how dumb is it that you're gonna have the same exact like the Queen's Guard, King's Guard armor, exactly the same. Exactly the same. That dude was able to come off a boat, walk up to the castle, and I'm like sitting there, I'm like, nobody's gonna notice this dude. I'm like, and he's walking up, and then I'm like, the armor's the same. No one
Mhm.
thought like we should probably change the armor, and they didn't. It was exactly the same, and I was like, that wasn't very bright. Like I was just that just floored me.
If
Jeez.
it wasn't for if it
Um,
wasn't for old girl, like they would have got he would have got away with it scot free. Because she was the only one that saw
That
the other
note.
twin
yeah.
brother that who's with Rhaenyra, and she
Mhm.
walked out and was
Mhm.
like, "What the
Yeah.
hell?"
She said, "Hold up, I gotta go back." And
She's like, I
come
know
on,
that's how I was like, oh, hold up,
backtrack.
hold up. I know him.
Uh huh. No.
So then Aegon ends up listening to Lord Larry's and like dismisses Hightower as his hand. And I was really surprised that he decided to give it to the Sir Cole. Sir Cole. He's got a taste for
Yeah.
banging queens, I suppose. That's right.
It's
That's
another dumbass. He's a
right. That's
chicken
all right.
ass.
Can we back up a minute?
Okay.
Can we back up a minute? I just want to say, Allison
What?
is a fucking hypocrite,
What?
bro. She's a hypocrite.
Mm-hmm.
Cause you got this whole shit. This whole shit is because she was banging Rhaenyra was banging Kristen Cole and she found out. Then lo and behold, she's banging fucking Kristen Cole. Like,
Exactly.
if you wanted the dick, just say that.
Yeah.
God damn.
Hey, look, she was just mad that she didn't get the dick first. That's why she's mad.
Jackie
Like,
hates
yes,
Cole too.
Jacqueline, he
Look
needs to
at her.
fucking
She's like, he needs to die.
He needs to fucking die. Jacqueline said it best. He needs to fucking die. But yeah, don't be mad because you didn't get the dick
Yeah,
first.
he.
Just
Yeah,
say,
he
girl,
definitely
are you
does.
mad because you got the leftovers? What? And but how about nobody wants his fucking babies? How about that part?
Oh, burn, solid
Let me
burn.
drink
Solid
this
burn.
fucking tea so I can get rid of these fucking sperms swimming around. Fucking kill them all.
Oh, she did do that. She did.
They both did.
I
They,
forgot about
they
that.
both fucking drank the goddamn whatever the fucking maester made. I said, fuck these coal babies.
These cold babies. No. Right.
Pull up to smash. Yeah, pretty much. Smashing
So
queens.
I do like the events, like after Sir Eric tries to assassinate Rhaenyra, and then it kind of in the end it was like a happy thing because you have Massaria now, also known as the White Worm, is now kind of a friend now to Rhaenyra because she didn't have to do that. And I thought,
Mhm.
and I already had my eye on her anyway, and I was like, she'd probably be a good person to keep around. When you're initially like uh dismissed her, I was like, oh man, don't let her go. I'm like, she's a cool character. But then like she comes back and she does that. I was like, yeah,
Mhm.
yes, keep her, keep her. She's like a wealth of information.
Yep.
Yep.
And also in that, yeah, and also I think in that particular episode, Damon has like a what would be a proper term, like a hissy fit, and that's when he leaves to go to Harrenhal.
Yeah.
Yep. And I I was hoping that he was initially going there to help Rhaenyra to get like a land army, because her
That's what I thought too.
Jackie, Rhaenyra and Doon so they probably will, knowing House of the Dragon. I would not put it past them. They're just like,
Yeah. They'll
yeah,
slip that in there
okay.
somewhere.
They will. They're like, oh, that girl's got a great idea. Let's do that. And I'm like, what does this have to do with the story? Nothing. We're just gonna do it anyway. And I'm like, it's like just like we got a full frontal with Amond, and I was reading about it. I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. We get to see that actor schlong." I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Oh, it's to show that he's vulnerable." I was like, I don't need to see that to know that he's being vulnerable." I'm like, "But okay." So that happened. It's like I really did like the show. There's just some stuff, and I was just like, "Ooh, that happened." All right.
Man, that was
And
some
then
visual you didn't need to see.
no. He was vulnerable, Khan. Okay, he wanted to show that he's being very vulnerable.
It's like, damn, they're just gonna straight up show him getting head. Like, it's okay. That's all right.
Oh, they did.
It's a Sunday. It's
Oh
all
yeah,
good.
there's like a quick little snippet. And I was like,
Yeah.
"That's bad. That's
It's a
Eric's like,
Lord,
"That's
they
very
know
vulnerable."
big deal. We'll
Yeah,
just
he's
make it
very vulnerable.
vulnerable.
Hey,
It's
happy
okay.
Sunday. Here's our show. Fellatio. I'm like, oh my God.
It's like,
A whole mouthful.
like HBO, what are you doing? Um, and so then again you see Rhaenyra like hats off to her for trying to go to talk to Allison. I know you don't like Allison. I know you don't, Con, but I do like the fact like Rhaenyra's trying so hard not to go to war, and that she even goes to Allison. So this is where Allison like pisses me off. Absolutely pisses me off. She's like straight up like lies to Rhaenyra's face and says that, that her late father did tell her about the Song of Ice and Fire. And I think immediately Rhaenyra looks at her, she's like, "Oh, he told you about that?" And she was just like, "Yeah." And Rhaenyra's like, "No, he didn't.
He fucking didn't tell
Lies
you this shit.
detected. He didn't tell you shit." I'm like, at that point, when Allison did that and just told that bold-faced lie, I was just like, "Man, I understood you up until that point. I understood, like, you're trying to protect your kids and everything. Don't exactly agree with it, but I understand. But then you did that, and Rhaenyra's, like, desperately trying not to go to war and, like, have
Mhm.
thousands and thousands of people die, but you do that shit. I'm like, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
How'd you guys feel about that?"
I feel like that is a very pivotal moment in the entire story
Yeah.
because it's the moment that she finds out like what I did. I thought I was being honorable by doing it because she actually, up until that point, believed that what Viserys told her was the truth. Like Aegon, her son, was
Right.
supposed to be the prince that took over. and it wasn't supposed to be Rhaenyra. But in that moment, she finds out, like, oh shit, she's actually talking about Aegon the Conqueror, which means I fucked up. I don't want to own this shit, so I have to continue with the lie
Mhm.
because this lie has set off a chain of events that we can't undo. Like that is very pivotal in this whole story. So the way they did it was well done because it was like, all right, what I thought I did was honorable. But the only person who really knows the truth is her dad, Otto. Otto knew the
Yeah,
truth and went along with it. He was thinking like, okay, my daughter's finally seeing the light, but she was thinking I'm actually doing an honorable thing, which makes
right.
everything that happened in season one hit that much harder.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
No, the bitch needs to own
I
her.
don't her Jackie says her and Cole deserve each other. I agree.
Yeah, they
No,
do.
and I agree with Eric. He says she can't own up to the oops. Yeah, she doesn't initially. Like she's riding that thing, and I think slowly through season 2, you kind of see her like getting swallowed by the things that are, yeah, no pun intended, of things that are going on, and I think it finally. Sorry, I had to. Okay, I had to. Um, but then, and then I kind of felt bad a little bit for Aegon the king. Like he's trying to rule and like find his voice with his council, which I have to say, like I think his council is way more forgiving than like Rhaenyra's. And I think he gets frustrated when like they don't hear him. I think he even says that. And again, here's Allison pissing me off. She's like, do nothing. She just wants him to like be the face. And I feel like that's part of the reason why you see in another episode is that he ends up getting on his dragon Sunfire and going to war. I feel like that's part of the motivator. Aegon, what Jacqueline say? Jacqueline says Aegon got a shit mom, never loved. Yeah, I mean that's a vibe I get. He's trying to do these things, and she's just like, "What do you think that crown is gonna automatically make you wise?" And I was like, "Damn!" I'm like, "That was harsh."
It's
I'm like,
hard
"Holy
hitting.
crap!"
She's a
I
bitch.
know.
A
Made me feel
fucking
bad,
bitch.
dude. Yeah, I was. I'm telling you, man. All through this season, I was like, Allison, not only are you not gonna win like wife of the year, mother of the year is out the window too. So forget that trophy. I was like, now you're a kid and your poor kid. God. So then the part comes where I'm like, somebody's definitely cutting onions in the kitchen. God. So you see, so let me set the stage. Okay. So
Mhm.
you got Aegon getting on his dragon Sunfire, right? He's like, I'm gonna go help the troops. I'm gonna go do this. You find out, right? And then Rhaenys goes on Melee's to help. I can't remember the town, but she goes to like try to take care of some of the troops that Aegon sent. So you can see like Melee's dragon with Rhaenys on it, and they're fighting and everything. Throws him down. I was like, oh shit! I was like, oh damn, Aemon. Well, Aemon, what are you doing? As you see him, I'm like getting chills because you see him on Vagar hiding. You know he did that shit on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't
Mhm.
you guys think? He's just sitting
Yep.
there and he's like, calm Vagar, and I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, what you doing, Aemond? So, I mean, yeah, and then when Vagar finally takes off, I was like, oh no, dude. I thought Melee's maybe had a little bit of a chance just because Vagar is so big, and I didn't think maybe he could like maneuver as well. But I knew as soon as she went over that cliff, I knew Vagar was gonna be right there. Dude, no, it was just like heartbreaking when she's like, "All right, girl, let's go one more
Yep.
time." Man, when
Yep.
he clamped down on, oh man, on her neck. Ugh.
It and you knew when she was like, "Go back." I was like, "You gotta wait. What are
I
you
was like,
doing? You
Literally.
gotta wait.
just keep going. Keep going.
Yes,
Yeah.
get out of
I
there.
was like, don't be the fucking hero today, but nope.
You ain't making it."
Turn around. All right.
I yeah, I was just like, man, when that dragon like turned to like looked at her and like Vagar killed her, and I'm like, dude, you could see it like Rainey's was just like heartbroken. I was just like, did that just really happen? Like I had to watch it again. I'm like, that really happened. And I'm glad that she died with her because like I don't know, like I would feel like if I was bonded to a dragon, like my dragon died while we're in battle, like I don't know if I could go on either. I'm like, that was horrible. Like, dude, that's like Eric. Eric says the lights of light. Yeah, you know what? She was
Absolutely.
probably one of my favorite characters too, because
Yeah.
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 she's like her and Lord Corley's man, like her and Lord Corley's are just like probably like one of my top tier like favorite people in that show. And like, man, when she died, I was just like, I was heartbroken. Like, man, that show, like, I couldn't watch any more shows that night after I watched it. I was like, oh, like, why did she have to die? That was horrible. But so there is one thing I wanted to ask you, Black. Now, in the books, I don't think Sunfire dies, right?
No.
So I
There's
read
a
somewhere.
there's a couple differences from the books and the show.
Okay.
One of which is Sunfire doesn't die. Aegon obviously survived, but so does Sunfire. Um, when
Mhm.
Rhaenys dies in the show they keep Corlys on Rhaenyra's side, but in the books he blames Rhaenyra for sending her out there because in the books she doesn't volunteer. Rhaenyra sends her out there, and then she dies,
Oh,
and then Corlys goes over to the Greens as a result of that.
really?
Yeah,
Wow, that's totally different. So he doesn't end up being her hand. Okay.
no, no.
I didn't know that.
Mm-mm. So she offers it to him
Jeez.
in the books. He rejects it, and
Yeah.
then he goes over, and then that is sort of like the downfall of Rhaenyra's side.
Hmm.
So that's a big
Yeah,
difference
because
from books and show.
well, yeah, just because of the sea snake and the fleet that he controls, like she loses
Right.
all of that. That would be a
She loses a
huge
lot.
blow. Wow.
Yeah. She loses a lot because of that.
Huh. I wonder if that's why they sometimes I don't understand why they change certain things for the show, like how they
They
deviate so much from the books.
right. They
I
deviate,
don't
but
know.
they do it in a way here that kind of made sense because and
Mhm.
even in how they explain Game of Thrones, it's a tale. It's an account of the Maesters by word. So not everything is accurate by word, even on the show from the
Mhm.
books. So this is another thing, and which is not surprising to me that they did it because they did it in Game of
Mhm.
Thrones. This is another layer that all right, this is an account of the Maesters. It's different from what actually happened in the books. So
Oh, so it kind of basically gives them
gives them a
an
window.
out more or less. And
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. No, I get that. Which is smart. I get that.
yeah.
Well, I'm kind of glad he stayed on Team Black, if you will, because again, he's one of my more favorite characters because I don't know, he's just such a smart guy, and it really broke my heart because he just again, the start of the like next episode, like you can just see like how devastated he is, and I was just like,
Mhm.
oh god,
He
like it's like my
loses
favorite couple in the
every
show.
he loses everybody.
Oh, I was like,
See this life threatener right here? I'd be
I
the same way.
I cried for Corlin. Yeah, oh man, I was sad. I'm like, damn. He lost his daughter, his son. Well, he thinks he lost his son, his wife. And quit talking about me.
Yeah.
We're on fucking live.
I know.
You better be careful. Just saying.
So then you can see that Damon, like, he gets to Harrenhal, and you start seeing that he's there. It's me in a selfish endeavor. Like, he's not wanting to be called prince or king consort. Like, he wants to be like referred to as king,
King.
and
Mm-hmm.
he's trying to get a lot of the people of the Vale like danger. Blink twice if you're safe. um,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
um, and he can't get the I think it's the Bracken family to come to heal. So he uses their feud. So you see a little bit more of a political maneuvering here. You can see the Blackwoods and the Bracken, and luckily they didn't actually show this on screen. But I guess they started taking the women and the children and everything in the middle of the night. Um, God knows what they're doing, but it didn't sound pleasant. In order to kind of bring them to heal, which you kind of later see that come to a head. Um, Damon just, gosh, man, he just doesn't think shit through. Like, he's there, like, trying to flex and trying to say he's king and everything. And I'm like, what are you doing?
You messing
Like,
up the
he
plan.
killed me. I know. I'm like, and I know they need the veil, because I know in the books that's where a lot of the Dance of the Dragons and a lot of the fights and stuff occurs kind of in the Riverlands. So I really don't understand what he's doing. Just that I don't know, like, desire for power. Like, I don't even know what that is. But anyhow, so it kind of flashes back to I thought it was really eerie when they had Rhaenys dragon Meleys, when they had her head on the wagon and they're pulling it through King's Landing, and everyone, I guess they thought landing was going to cheer, but I think everybody was kind of on the same boat where they're like, oh shit, the dragons are involved now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Is that kind of what you guys felt?
Yeah. It was a
Oh no, the internet's acting weird.
No, you're good. You're good. They they thought it was supposed to be like a celebration, right? But they didn't understand the power the dragons
Yeah.
have. The power, like, they were seen as gods, actually. And for you to parade one through the streets was,
Yeah.
for them, a bad omen.
Bad
Like,
omen. Yep.
you guys are fucked up really bad. And Cole didn't understand that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Till later, now he's fucking scared as shit.
Yeah, that was a yeah, I would be too. Damn, dude, I would be too. Um, so then at the end of the episode, I'm kind of confused. I'll tell you why. So you have um her son Jaceres, who says, like, they've got two grown dragons in the dragon pit, right? Telling his mom, like, hey mom, why don't we try to find, like, some people that aren't inbred like us, well, not him necessarily, that could ride dragons that aren't Targaryens. And then you see it start happening. Like, I really liked oh man, what was that guy's name? It was somewhere. Like, you see what was it? Sea Smoke go out and, like, find that guy in, like, the next episode, and they kind of, like, claim him, sought him out, whatever. That's his dragon now. So it happened, like, kind of all on its own. And it kind of makes me wonder if Black, if if it kind of went into it in the books, or Khan, if you know of anything, why does it ever go into the books? Because I don't remember reading about it in A Song of Ice and Fire. why they chose the Targaryens in the first place, because it looks like they can bond with other people besides the Targaryens.
Right. So if you go back to Old Valyria, most of the people had the same type of blood, whether you were Highborn or not. So
Yeah.
the reason the Targaryens were the ones in power, which they had the most
Right.
dragons, they had the most dragon riders, so naturally they'd be the one to
Mm-hmm.
rule. But in Old Valyria, it was pretty much if you had it, you could type of thing. And as you got
Mm.
out of Old Valyria and into the modern ages, that blood got thin and thinner and thinner and thinner. So you have less people that could actually ride dragons. The Targaryens, though their incest is seen as a fucking terrible thing, which it is, it actually saved them to be able to
Mm.
ride dragons because that blood was recycled throughout the family.
So I wonder if those people have more of that old Valerian blood than some of the other common folk. I don't know. It's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just like a trait that the dragons look for because you see was it Vermithor ends up choosing Hugh the Hammer or Hugh Hammer. And that one, man, when that started and she just like Rhaenyra is just kind of like seeing Vermithor for a minute, and then she was just like serve, and she walks away, and then I was just like, I made sure and I got comfortable. I was like, oh, all right, it's about to go down. Let's see what happens. And he just starts freaking barbecuing people.
Right? May the
I was
odds
just
be
like,
ever
oh,
in your
In your
favor.
favor. That's exactly what I thought. She just walked away. I was like, good luck.
It's only one
it's
seat.
like,
So,
everybody's like, I volunteer as tribute. I take it back.
yeah,
I take it back.
man, when you hear him like when she calls him and like you hear like his groans and stuff, dude, I'd have shit my pants. Ain't no way. I'm not meant to ride a dragon. Like seriously.
Mm-mm.
So Jen asked us,
Dude.
and we have a separate chat. She said, if dragons were real in real life, would you ride one? I said, fuck yeah, I'd ride one. Look, I might shit myself the first ride, but I'm gonna fucking ride that damn thing. If it allows me to get on, I'm getting on. Yeah, damn right. And I
You
don't
need to
care if
spray
it's
the dragon off.
holy or what. Like Vega, look, we still gonna ride them.
I was like, I know. You'd be like, my dragon would be like, yeah, just spray him off. Yes, that's shit. I'm good now. I'm good. But it's fine.
Right? Oh, we'll clean this shit up later. It's okay.
We're good. It's fine. It's that damn lamprey pie. That's what we're gonna blame it on.
Hell yeah, the risk is worth it, Eric.
I think so. I think it's cool. He's cool. All right. And then, man, I don't know what Silverwing was thinking. So you got what his name? Ulf? How you say
Yeah.
Ulf? Sounds like he got punched. Ulf. Dude, what was man, when he got chosen, I was like, I swear you guys just had him get Silverwing just to piss people off. Because man, the way he starts acting at like Rhaenyra's table, I was just like,
Yeah.
oh, man, somebody just
What the
kill him.
fuck is wrong with this guy? This
Can
guy
somebody
has
kill
some
him?
fucking balls. Like he's mentally
Right?
like something's loose up here.
You need that. You
Yeah.
need them all.
Well, I don't really know his story yet. Maybe you do from the books, but
No,
I'm
well,
just like, who the fuck does this guy think he is? Like,
you kind of need that loose cannon because you have a loose cannon on the other side in Aemon. So it's kind of like a balance of the scales. He's got a dragon. He's a loose cannon. So you need that kind of check, and it kind of proved itself when he got Silverwing, right? So as soon as he got Silverwing, the first thing he did was flew to King's Landing. Like, What the
Dude, I
That
hell?
part too.
know.
I'm
I
like,
was
this
like,
guy is fucking crazy.
Yeah, he's crazy, but it also drew out the big gun, and the big gun was Vagar. So with Vagar, because he's a loose cannon, he's gonna fly after him, and he found out
yeah.
real quick that oh shit,
He
they
sure,
reloaded.
he sure did.
So you
Yeah.
kind of need something like that.
He's fucking flying up there. He's like, fuck. Did I just fucking see three? One, two, three.
Yep.
Not look. We're gonna loop back around. We're good. We'll come back later.
Retreat. Retreat. I take it back.
Abort mission. Abort mission.
Abort mission. I know. And then and I can't believe like Eamon had like the audacity to ask Helena to like ride her dragon. I think her dragon's name is Dreamfire, and
Mhm,
Mhm.
I don't
mhm.
think I got the impression that she doesn't really ride at all. And I can't believe like he was actually wanting her to like go and like try to fight and everything. And I have to give props to Allison because she actually was like, no, no, we're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that to my daughter. So at least like, she's like standing up for her daughter at this point because she needs to. She needs to stand up for one of her
He needs
kids.
to fucking do
I'm
something.
not sure what you're doing, ma'am.
Like, goddamn, lady.
Something.
Shit.
I know. She needs to do something. Um, but I got like you definitely like I definitely thought it was like pretty intense too when you see the Cyrex and Sea Smoke on the beach, like when Rhaenyra like first like sees what's happened, like one of the dragons actually, chose somebody, and man, I was hoping like the dragons weren't going to throw down. I was like, please don't throw down, like please don't throw down on the beach. I'm like, I actually like these two characters. I'm like, I like this guy. I'm like, he's cool, and then they didn't. I was like, oh, thank God, thank God. I don't know if that stressed you guys out. There's definitely points in this episode that I was like stressed out. Um, but then, so I kind of mentioned it earlier where when Damon had used the feud that had been going on with like the Blackwoods and the Brackens, and you have the I think it's the young Lord Paramount of the Riverlands basically wants him to punish the Sir Blackwood for his war crimes. And I actually was surprised at how quickly, I don't know if you guys were surprised, like how quickly he did it.
Mhm.
Like he just like lobbed his head off. And really at this point, like that's his like only ally. And I was just like, man, I felt bad for Blackwood. Like he just got his head cut off. And I was like, oh, okay, that happened. That happened. Off with his head. Off with his
Yep.
head.
But that was karma for Damon, right?
Yeah.
Because he
Yeah.
had been kind of terrorizing everybody. People stopped liking him at a certain point, and
Yeah.
he was gonna use the kid. I don't think he banked on that kid having balls as big as Epcot
Mhm.
because he was gonna use
I
that
don't
kid
think so
to do his
either.
bid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kid was like, "Fuck you, dude." Really, like I was like, "Oh,
Mhm.
oh," and he did it in front of everybody because he knew he had to be. He had
Mhm.
in that moment he had to be strong, and he put Damon's back. And this is
Mhm.
the first time we've seen Damon's back up against the wall to where he has
Yeah.
to make that type of decision, and he did. He did it because he needed the allies. So it was again. There were points in this show that were really well done and pivotal because that was another pivotal
Yeah.
moment. Because if he didn't, he probably doesn't get that army at all.
That's the kid I said was like Mormont from Bear Island, right?
Yeah,
Hell yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
yep, he's just like her. He
Same.
said,
Yeah.
fuck all of you. I might be young, but fuck all of you.
I know. Same vibe. Same vibe. Yeah. And he did it with like such class, I think too. Like he
yeah,
acted like way older than what I perceived him to be. So you can
Yeah.
definitely tell like his dad schooled him in politics.
Hmm.
um,
Mhm.
to be able to stand up to somebody like, Damon, because even the, what is it? Is that Lord Scott, the one that's like the caretaker of Harrenhal? I mean, he just bends over backwards for Damon,
Oh
whatever,
yeah.
not that he really like, yeah, not that he really like has much of a choice, but yeah, but I'm like, here enters this, the Lord Paramount, the new Lord Paramount, and he's just like, yeah, I don't think so, and I was just like, all right, all right,
Yeah.
I'm like that happened, yeah, um,
Mhm.
so there was, I think that narrative too, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that narrative is also different than what's in the books because I think in the books, like the Riverlands, like right off the cuff, like align with Rhaenyra and basically Team Black. But I am excited the way that they did it. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's correct.
Okay. Um, but I liked it because it actually showed a little bit more of like I said, like some of the politics that's going on um and then at the very end you can see like when Rhaenyra shows up, he made a smart move. He was a smart man. When he finally kneeled to her, I was like, dude, I'm so glad you did that. Which I was surprised that she went there by herself to
Right.
Mhm.
Harrenhal to see what
Right.
he was doing. And sometimes she just goes off on her own. I'm just like, it's like, ma'am, what are you doing?
Right.
I'm like, Rhaenyra stresses me out when she does that.
She's
I'm like, what are you
fearless.
doing? She, yeah, maybe a little dumb at times. Like, I don't think I would
Mhm.
have done
Very.
that. Like, I would have
Very, very. Yep.
taken a friend or something. I don't know. Um,
Yep.
but I have this theory. So, like, throughout this season, you can see Damon's having like these, I guess you can call them like hallucinations,
Mhm.
visions, and stuff. And at first, I thought the witch lady in the show was drugging him.
The owl
I don't know how
chick.
you guys kind of felt about that. Did you guys think that she was yeah, did you think that he was like, she was drugging him? Because 'Cause I'm like, "He's losing his damn mind."
Mm-mm.
I don't know, but that whole Aaron Hall thing, that thing is fucking creepy. I was like, what the hell is happening in this fucking place? Like, I don't know. I
It's
don't
like
know.
haunted.
I
It's like haunted or something.
maybe she's a isn't she like kind of like a fucking witch or some shit?
Kinda.
That's what I kind of got from it. So I'm like, damn, she's fucking maybe she's fucking like putting voodoo on his ass. I don't fucking know, but he was fucking tripping, like majorly tripping. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, this guy's losing it, like for real,
Yeah.
for real.
But then yeah, that's why I was like, "He's losing his mind." I'm like, "I'm not really sure what's going on with Damon, but sounds like it's self-inflicted maybe." But then he touches the weirwood tree because you see the
Mm.
weirwood tree there. And if
Mm-hmm.
anybody's watched Game of Thrones, you know what a big deal that heart tree is.
Yep.
So then when he touches the weirwood tree and then the sap, the blood-colored sap hits his hand, then I was like, "Okay, it's starting to make sense now." When he sees the White Walkers, and I believe he sees the Night King, and then you can see a clip of Daenerys and then her dragons, and then I'm like, "Oh." I think it was probably the whatever mystical magic that's in those trees. I feel like that might have something to do with it. Is kind of
Yeah.
my theory. You too?
Yeah. So in the books, Harrenhal is that type of place to where
Right.
it disturbs your mind. That's what they say in the books. It is a place that
Mm.
disturbs the mind because it did have. They only showed one, but apparently, according to the books, there were a lot of werewood trees around Harrenhal at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's only when you
Oh,
get
okay. There's
closer
some
to the
more.
Game of
Mm,
Thrones timeline that they start to dwindle off. But apparently, there was a
mm,
lot of trees around there, which is why you got Harrenhal being
mm.
the way it was, because
Okay.
It was people's past coming to revisit them.
Okay.
Fuck.
Interesting. It's like interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
I feel like during that when he did touch it, the first thing we saw was the three-eyed raven,
Mhm.
right.
which lets us know that it's going to come into play. And everything that he saw, Rhaenyra didn't have to tell him. When she finally
When
got
she
there,
showed up, yeah.
he didn't have to tell her, she didn't have to tell him about Aegon's dream. He saw it for himself. That's what turned the tide for him.
Right.
Yeah.
His ass was scared.
Mm.
Yep.
Like, here's the fucking truth. Here's my future.
I don't want it.
Yeah.
Here you go.
I will fucking bend the
I support you. I
King
support
Kong.
you, babe.
I'll take the extra title. It's all good. It's all good.
Take
I'll take it.
whatever you need. I don't want this shit.
Hell yeah. Add whatever the fucking title behind King. It's all good. No.
God. So, and then I think you eventually see that when Aemon comes to like talk to Helena again, and then she tells him like some of like the visions that she's been having. Like what is it? What did she say? She said something like Aegon is going to be sitting in a wooden throne, and that Aemon was going to die. And then right there, it kind of solidified for me that she was a seer. I was like, oh, she's 100% a seer. I'm
Yeah.
like, she's definitely telling him
Yeah, and
those
that's
things.
exactly how he dies too. She told him exactly how he was gonna die.
What did she say? I don't remember.
So she told him he's going to die in the God's
Yeah.
eye, and that
Right.
his body would never be found. That's exactly how he dies, but I'm not going to spoil it for anybody else. But that's exactly how he died.
No worries. Damn, dude. I'm like, man, I watch Helena when she starts talking, man, I want to shut up and grab my popcorn because I'm going to be like, oh, just making predictions. So there's something else that's different from the book, and obviously correct me if I'm wrong. So you have Rhaena. So Rhaenyra sends her stepdaughter. Yeah, I guess it's her stepdaughter,
Baylor,
Rhaena, to go help huh?
you talking about
No,
Baylor?
the other one. Not Bela. No, not Bela. The other one that she sends off to live with in Erie with Jane Erie. Jane Erie, I think. And it's in the Vale too. In the Vale. I think it's no, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
it's a Vale, I think.
yeah.
To help raise her like younger kids that she had with Damon. And she sends her off with like 3 dragon eggs. And I think she was one of the ones that tried to bond with Vermithor, but he was just like, nah, not my
Yeah.
type. I'm like, he's
Yeah.
not into that. But I think it's different in the books because I think the her caretaker tells her that there's like a wild dragon um, that is flying around, and you see her um, like sleeping outside, and she's obviously like searching for him. So I think this deviates from the books because I think they're meshing 2 characters from the books. So one of them is Nettles, I think, is the one that ends up bonding with the dragon. I think they end up naming it Sheep Stealer. Do you remember that story?
Correct. So it is Sheep Stealer. She never gets a dragon.
Oh no.
So that is a deviation from the books. That she's probably going to end up with that dragon. And they
Okay.
already named it Sheep Stealer in the show too.
Okay. Which is kind of a bummer that they are deviating a little bit. Again, I know you can only have so many characters in like a show to where you're like it's kind of hard to keep up with everybody, but I think Reina's character is interesting because I believe after the Dance of Dragons,
Oh, sorry. We'll bring her back in.
Sorry.
No, you good. You
Stupid
good.
internet. I swear we said it.
I was like, is that us? Oh.
Um, me. Um, but anyhow, I don't know how much of the story you heard. Anyhow, they're kind of deviating from the novels a little bit. It sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, that Nettles and Raina's character are being kind of combined, and that maybe she's gonna bond with the dragon they call Sheep. I really wish they come up with a better name than Sheep Stealer, but I guess because he eats sheep, that's what they went with.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
Boring, honestly. I know. Oh, my name would be Buys Bath and Body Works a lot dragon. That's mine. God. Horrible name for a
Me
dragon.
too. Me too.
That's ridiculous. All right. Anything else you guys want to mention from the show?
So I do have a couple notes. So originally, everybody complained
Yeah,
about
what's up?
this episode being 8 episodes. It was originally supposed to be 10.
Right.
They cut two episodes out, which
Okay.
is why you got the ending that you got. So the Battle of the Gullet and the Fall of King's Landing were supposed to be episodes 9 and 10. We were supposed to get into the battles in this season. Which, if you know the books and you know these battles, major characters were going to die this season. So we're probably going to start season 3 with these episodes, and you're probably going to get a lot of death early in the season. So that's something to look out for. Going forward, there may be 8 episodes in the next season as well, and that's strictly because of Warner Brothers Discovery. So if you're looking for 10 episodes, they've already kind of told you that it's probably going to be 8 episodes, and that's strictly due to budget concerns. And with Warner Brothers Discovery losing the NBA, they're going to kind of rebudget everything. So, it's why you got what you got. And this season was also heavily affected by the writer strike. So, even with that being said, this was a really good season with a really good story to it. So it's a setup for another good season. So hopefully we get 10 episodes next season. If not, they're probably gonna load you up with 8 crazy ass episodes next season.
Yeah. What do you think, Con?
I'm an impatient ass person, so this whole season pissed me off at the end. I was like, that's it. I want all the fucking action, like that's right now. I gotta fucking wait. What? So I'm a little pissed.
2 years.
Yeah, right. That part.
But you get a Night of the Seven Kingdoms next year. That's a new show that they're gonna start.
Does it look like I want to fucking wait till next year?
But you get another good show.
No. I gotta find some shit to keep me busy in between.
A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. There you go.
I don't know. I was just like, damn, this whole fucking season is just to prep us for the next season. I was just like, okay, whatever. you gonna catch me in the room fucking reading the book. Like, what the fuck happens? I know, because I'm fucking impatient. I want to fucking know what's gonna happen.
Same. That's why I end up like, if I haven't read the books, I'll go and read the books because I can't wait. I'm like, what happens? I have to know.
Yeah.
I'm so impatient. I know. I'm with you there.
Yeah.
If you guys can't wait, there are some suggestions. I believe it was the globe.com. I can't remember what website it was from. If you guys like House of the Dragon, there are some ones I do suggest. Obviously, if you've never watched Game of Thrones, anyone, I highly recommend it. There's also Vikings and Vikings Valhalla, if you kind of like that A little bit of
Hell yeah.
like fantasy,
Fucking great
right?
ass show.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
I love
Vikings.
those shows. Man, I can't. Yeah, I love those shows. There's also Shadow and Bone. That one's pretty good. There's also His Dark Materials, Carnival Row, but I think Carnival Row only has. I think they stopped after 2 seasons, which is kind of a bummer. I
Yeah,
really like that show. They just cut
it
it.
didn't get a lot of. It
I'm
didn't
not
get a
sure if
lot
that
of
was like
credit.
a
It was a
right.
good
No,
show.
that got impacted by COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't really. I really like that show. Obviously, there's The Witcher. I don't know about next season. We'll see. And then there's also the Wheel of Time series too. The books are really good, but show's okay. It's okay so far. It's if you're bored, I'd recommend to watch. But if anybody needs some shows to watch, there's some recommendations based on your love of House of the Dragon. All right,
I've been hearing a lot about Game
you
of
guys ready to
Thrones.
wrap this up?
Yeah,
What's
so
that?
Game of Thrones, real quick. Folks don't like it because they can't get past the first 2 episodes, but it's the build up. Get to fucking episode 3, and I promise you, you don't want to freaking let it down. You'll keep going and going and
That's
going.
fact.
You just need to get to episode 3. Don't give up on it, and then it's
I always tell folks
nonstop.
Yeah.
the first 2 episodes are the setup for the entire series.
Yeah. Hey, look, that's coming from an impatient fucking person,
Yeah.
but please be patient and give it to episode 3.
Yeah. Give it a try. I know. Yeah, I know some people just don't can't get into it. And I was like, sometimes you just gotta. I don't know. To me, it's like first starting a video game and you start out with absolutely nothing. You got to start somewhere. You got to start building things. And
Yep.
I'm glad I didn't give up on House of the Dragon because the first season I was just like, oh, all right. And then the second season came around. I was like, oh, okay, finally, this is much better. Okay. Oh my god. All right. All right. You guys ready to wrap it up?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Thank you guys so much, Black and Con, for spending time with me tonight on Queens of Nerddom. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode and talking about House of the Dragon. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, as always.
Me too, as always.
Anytime. And guys, don't forget, Fallen Star episode 26 is out now. And if anybody is part of the Patreon, we're going to be doing a live session of Fallen Star on Patreon only. So if you're one of our members, then it's nice some free content that you can actually interact with us while we're gaming. So thank you, Willie, for uploading all those episodes so people can be up to date on what we're doing. So much appreciated.
Well done.
All right, guys. Everybody, have a great night. Thank you guys again for.
I wanted to show you.
What?
You these shirts real quick, Jen. Let me show you the shirt real quick.
Oh yeah, let me see your shirt. We do. I love it. This is awesome. I love it. All right, everybody. And don't forget, remember to stay nerdy. Keep your crown straight. Good night.
Bye.